Everybody, and welcome to Sally's Recipe of the Week, brought to you by Doris Italian Market and Bakery. Sorry we started just a little late this evening. We're still trying to work out our audio issues, and Dr. Bradford, thank you so much for getting us microphones. We're just having some issues getting them to work properly. I'm sure it's our end, not that end, but we are trying to fix it, so there you go. That's why we're running a little late. Mo's here, of course, and Curtis is in what I call mission control. And welcome to Casa de Mo and Sally. And the recipe this week is Jamaican Jerk Pasta. And this recipe is great because it's vegan or vegetarian, or you can add a protein to it. So this would work for anybody. And as far as the jerk spices go, it doesn't have to be that spicy. You can make it as spicy or as little spice as you want. So it works for everybody.
Okay, we have to say hello to Lisa. She was first in here. Also, Jana, D. Stokes, Kathy. Lisa says she's drinking a White Russian.
Really?
Marina is joining us.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining us here at Casa de Mo and Sally. Recipe of the Week brought to you by Doris Italian Market.
And by the way, you can find the recipe on our website, 1055online.com. This recipe I made for two, but obviously just double it and it can go for four people. Okay, it's pretty easy. And you guys know we like to start our recipe of the week with an appetizer from Doris. And I'd like to tell you that they're sweet and savory, or sweet and spicy mini meatballs are on sale in their deli. And Mo, let's give it a try, and you need to tell everybody about the wine. We kind of upped our game a little bit on the wine.
Hi, Karen. Edmund.
Hey, Karen.
Bear is here.
Bear.
All right, well, let's move over to the...
Okay, look at the beautiful roses Mo got me for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, let's make sure switch the camera, Curtis, and I need some credit for the roses. Yeah. Yeah, there's the roses.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah. All right. So these are the meatballs on sale. You said
they are on sale. You can get them in the deli department.
All right.
And we love sweet and spicy stuff.
All right. So here we go with the wine.
Yes.
This is the wine we're drinking today. It's Madalena, a Cabernet Sauvignon. Mm-hmm. I'd say this was $15, $16. I mean, normally
that's splurging.
That is splurging. Karen says, must be nice to get roses.
It was nice.
I'm sure you got roses. So what are we doing here?
We're going to try a meatball.
Look at these cute little...
These were my parents. They got them in, I believe these came from Thailand.
And before you go thinking that they're ivory, they're not. They're plastic. So.
No. And the great thing is you can wash them and reuse them.
Mm-hmm.
What a good meatball.
Mo can't talk. He got balls in his mouth.
Curtis has been waiting all day to say that. Those are good balls. Curtis, I'll bring my balls to work for you tomorrow.
I don't. Are you bringing the ones that are attached or the meat?
I said I'd bring these balls for you.
I like it. They're not too spicy. And I always ask when I buy meatballs what it's made of, if it's pork or beef or lamb or veal, because I won't eat veal and I won't eat lamb. This is a combination of beef and pork.
Mm.
So if you don't eat pork, don't get these. But always ask when you're buying meatballs, if there's something you don't want to eat, ask them. They'll tell you. Ooh.
And it does pair well. Pair well with Madalena. Yeah, that's good. That's good wine right there.
That's really good. It's nice and sweet.
D. Stokes says the conversation went south fast. Well, I put that. I don't know about you, Curtis. I put that on Dana. I mean, we were just talking about meatballs. So
they're good.
All right, are we moving back over?
Yeah, we're gonna go back over here. So I'm gonna tell you guys what I've done.
Anybody? I don't know if you heard this morning. This life hack that Linda Brooks sent me. Ladies, you can take those roses when they start to go bad. Don't throw them away. Put them in a jar. What did I say with vinegar? Oil. Olive oil. Sorry. Well, the main ingredient in pretty much every life hack is vinegar. but you put them in a jar with olive oil. Heat up a pot of water.
Right. Take it off the heat.
And take it off the heat.
Set the jar. And it needs to be one of those thick jars, not like some skinny jar that's going to break.
And you put it in the jar. You put it in the water for 30 minutes, and then you take it out, and you have rose oil.
It's a good way to use it.
I said that a lot better on the air this morning. And trust me, I've only had like 2 sips of wine. I don't know what the hell.
Just because you just woke up. Okay, so I went ahead and started the first step in our recipe of the week, which is Jamaican jerk chicken, just to kind of move things along. So what we have in this pan, isn't it pretty, is a half of a red bell pepper sliced up into strips. Same thing with an orange bell pepper. Half of a good sized onion, again, just kind of cut into little strips. And also I put in here 1 big fat jalapeno pepper. And I cut the jalapeno smaller because I like it to cook down more because, I mean, let's face it, they can be kind of spicy. I use 1 big one. You can use 1 big one, 2 small ones. Or if you don't like spice, put in a different kind of pepper. Maybe a yellow bell pepper or a green bell pepper. It's your choice. But that's what's going on in here. A couple of tablespoons of olive oil. I just cooked it down low and slow. You don't want to brown it. For about 6 minutes. So after you get to this step, we're going to add some more things. Okay. So we're going to put in a couple of cloves of garlic chopped up. These were big cloves. If they were small, I would have done 3. We're going to add that right to that. And I'm going to put it back on the heat, obviously. And our jerk seasoning. And this is from Roland. Thank you, Roland. He sent me a bunch of seasonings, and this is a jerk seasoning for chicken and fish, and it works with shellfish, and it doesn't have salt in it. And if you're a salt-free person, that's great. But since this doesn't have salt, I did salt the peppers before I cooked them down because you need a little salt in there, unless you have to go salt-free. And you make this as jerky or unjerky as you want. See that? Hensies. Good stuff.
Hi, Seda.
Hi, Seda.
Karen says, what do you do with the rose oil? You can use it on your skin. Apparently, it's very good.
You're supposed to rub it on your body.
Yeah, rub it on your body. Because apparently rose oil is very expensive at the store, and this is how you make your own.
And you're not throwing away flowers.
And you're not throwing away the flowers.
So I'm going to add, you can add between a tablespoon and 2 tablespoons of the jerk spice. It just depends on how jerky you like it. We like ours pretty jerky. And it smells good. I love it.
We like it very curdy, very jerky.
All right, we got to put this back on the heat just for about a minute, okay?
Hi, Kay.
Because what you want to do is you don't want to burn the garlic, but you do want the garlic to release all that garlicky smell. And same thing with the jerk seasoning. You want to kind of work that up as well.
Hi, Dawn.
Again, Karen is our expert on being a vegan. Karen, when I show you the ingredients, you know that all the peppers, and we use olive oil and garlic. And I'm going to use diced tomatoes. They're fire roasted diced tomatoes, coconut milk, and I guess it's not going to be vegan because this is Parmesan cheese, so it can be vegetarian-y, right? Because Karen's our expert on that. So once I start smelling the garlic over here, I'm going to add in the tomatoes. And I'm going to use about half a can of those fire roasted tomatoes. You can use diced tomatoes if you want, just good old diced tomatoes. I'm going to pop up the heat just a little bit. Or just, chopped up fresh tomatoes. It really just depends on what you have. I love fire roasted tomatoes. But I'm only going to use about half of a can. If you like more tomato, add more tomato. But I'm just going to use about half a can. But use the juice as well. Don't drain them.
Karen says you can make vegan parm.
Well, she would know.
Yep.
So I guess you could make this a vegan dish if you can make vegan Parmesan cheese. Cheers, Mo.
Honda Classic is coming.
What was that news you had about the Honda?
Excited because Brooks Koepka and Daniel Berger, both Palm Beach County residents,
and champions, right?
And they have each won a championship in the last couple of weeks. So they're the last 2 winners on the PGA Tour. They're going to join the Honda Classic this year. So that's good news.
That is great news. Okay, so I'm going to add in about half a can of these tomatoes.
Do I need to come over there?
Yeah, you need to get closer because she's talking.
Work your way around.
Okay, I need to get closer because she's talking.
Yeah.
Look at those.
Stop looking.
And again, if you want more tomatoes, add more tomatoes. And I won't waste these tomatoes. I'll either pop them in the fridge or the freezer next time I make chili. They'll go right in my chili. Yeah, that looks about right. About half a can.
Lots of color in this dish.
I love it. I love how pretty it is. That's why I use a lot of bell peppers. I like cooking with bell peppers. So we want the tomatoes to kind of start cooking down, just to kind of soften them up. So I'm going to turn this up a little bit because this is our pasta water. And I'm cooking this with linguine. You can use whatever long pasta you want, but I'm going to cook it with linguine. I've already salted the water because I already brought the water up to a boil, and then I salted it, and I turned it down just right before the show. So pasta water is going, because while this cooks down, we are going to cook our pasta.
Denise is wondering where the kitty cat is. Oh.
Well,
Lock them up.
several to choose from.
Yeah, you see him back there? He's on the back of the chair, making way too much noise. All right.
So I'm going to
Karen, we were testing the mics a little while ago and it didn't
Yeah.
work out. So we still got to troubleshoot with the mics.
We still got some work to do.
We failed. We've been testing all afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have. Okay, so I'm going to use about 8 ounces. This is a 16-ounce bag. I'm going to use about 8 ounces of linguine. Got this at Doris. And you just want to stir it up when it first gets in there so it doesn't stick to the bottom. Don't put oil in your pasta water.
That's Flora. Duh.
You just want to move it around until it kind of comes back to a boil.
What did you say? Don't put oil?
Don't put oil in your pasta water. No. There's
Is that a thing people do?
Yeah, people say that, well, that way the pasta doesn't stick. Well, if you stir your pasta when you first put it in the water, it won't stick. You let it move around. And the directions say to cook it for about 6 minutes. So we're going to go about 5 because we're going to add the pasta in here and we want it all to cook together. And you don't want to overcook your pasta.
I thought it was because we don't follow stinking directions. They don't tell us what to do.
Well, that's your reason, Curtis. But that's not us.
Oh, don't put oil in there. I'll show you.
I'll show
put
you
oil
what
in there.
pile of oil.
I'll put some motor oil in there if I want to.
Okay, so now our sauce is starting to come up to a simmer. So you can stay right where you are now.
All right. Hey, Johnny Red Balls is joining us. He says it looks delicious.
You put salt in the water, right, Sally?
I certainly did. I salted the water when I first brought it up to a boil. This was before we started the show. I just kind of did that to get things going. But yes, the water is definitely salted.
Yeah, Kay wanted to know.
Yes.
Okay, so
now this is the coconut milk. If you don't like coconut milk, I understand. You can just use heavy cream or half and half, because not everybody likes coconut, but we like coconut. That's about 2/3 of a cup. If you want more, add more. And if your sauce starts to get too thick, that's why we have the wonderful pasta water. You can always thin it with that, or some stock, or more coconut milk if you want more coconut. I learned something about coconut milk, you guys. It spoils fast. So if you get a can of it and you only use like half the can, which I did last time I made this dish, freeze it. Don't stick it in the fridge for like a week because it can go bad. And our pasta is boiling up. You don't want it to overflow. Okay, so see how nice that is? It's so pretty. And you want to check your pasta. It's not anywhere near done, I'm sure. No. You see, it's not sticking at all. And that's exactly what you want. No stickage. And this is not on too high.
Oh, Lord. Here he go.
Oh, yes, there is splatter. It is called cooking, though.
Oh.
This is a cooking show. It's not a cleaning show.
I'm going to do a cleaning show right afterwards.
And also you might want to taste it and see if you want any more jerk seasoning or if you want any more salt. Just give it a little taste. It's still coming together. It's still a little thin. So I'm going to taste it. Ooh, that's good. It does need more jerk, in my opinion, because remember, we're going to add all this pasta to it. So that will kind of mellow it out a little bit. But I would definitely put more jerk. But I told you in the recipe, it says between a tablespoon and 2 tablespoons. So I probably use 2.5 maybe. But Mo and I like the spice. Again, use your favorite jerk seasoning. I'm using this Penzeys, thanks to Roland. It was a gift, and I really appreciate it.
Karen says I should do a post-cooking show.
Karen, if he do that, he better find somebody. He better learn how to run it himself. Turn it back to watch him clean.
Salt, but not too much, because Parmesan cheese can be salty. So just keep that in mind. When we add in the Parmesan, it's going to be salty.
When are we adding that? Towards the end?
Yeah.
You always add the cheese towards the end?
Yep. And I grate my Parmesan cheese pretty fine. That's about a little over 1/2 cup. And the great thing about this is if you put the Parmesan in your sauce, and then later you realize I didn't have enough Parmesan in the sauce, when you plate it, just grate some Parmesan over the top. Problem solved.
Garnish it with cheese. That's what I say.
Yeah,
That's
that's Curtis's cooking tip of the week.
Nothing
He's just
wrong with that.
pretty much garnishing everything with cheese. He decorates his plate with cheese.
Cheese on cheese.
Cheese on cheese.
Cheese on cheese on cheese. Use just about our timer. It just needs about maybe a minute. It's still
Hi, Milton.
crunchy. So while we wait for that, I'm going to turn this off for a moment. We're going to add the cheese. You don't want it too hot when you add the cheese because you want it to melt all beautifully.
Now, when is the shrimp going in?
Now, you don't have to use shrimp. You can use chicken. But I'm cooking the shrimp separately. I like to sear the shrimp separate and not cook it in here because I hate overcooked shrimp. It's awful. And that way we can really control it. I did this last time we made this dish, Mo. And then when we plate it, we're going to top it with the shrimp.
Gotcha.
Okay, so now here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to drain the pasta in a colander. I'm just going to pull the pasta. Oh, there we go. Let me taste it one more time. We're going to pull the pasta right from the pot into the pan. All right? That's right where we want it. So, slide them together. And a lot of times I add pasta water to a sauce, but if you're just pulling the pasta right out, there's going to be water in there anyway. Just get them nice and close. See, it's already got some pasta water in there.
Splash some extra on the stove.
Shut up, Curtis.
Stacy wants to know if you like cooking on an electric stove.
I've never had a gas stove, Stacey, so I probably would love having a gas stove, but we just don't have one. So, all right, then we're gonna.
What do you think? We got Oprah money up in here?
I don't mind cooking on an electric stove. I've cooked on far worse. See how all that goes together? Nice. And we're going to keep it nice and warm, but not too warm because we don't want the pasta to overcook. And now we're going to make our shrimp. I'm going to top this with shrimp in the jerk seasoning. So this burner is still warm, so this will keep our pasta warm, but not cook it too much. Because it's still just a little under, but I think by the time the shrimp is ready, that's going to be perfect.
Well, Karen is certainly not my friend anymore.
Why not? What did she
She's
say?
like, heck, Sally, splash some on the wall. What the hell? I'm not staying here. I'm going to get my wine now.
Karen, what's an AGA stove?
What's a what?
Karen wants an AGA stove.
An AGA
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
stove?
Is that one of those that like you can boil water in 60 seconds? It's that induction thing? Is that what that is, Karen? Okay, so a little more olive oil in a separate pan, obviously. And I got this shrimp at Doris. It's on sale this week. And it's normally I cook with frozen shrimp. You guys know that. I buy frozen shrimp all the time. This was not frozen. I actually peeled it and cleaned it and did all that. But since we're not having a lot of it, I don't mind that labor. So this is not frozen shrimp, but I got it at Doris. It's on sale. It's delicious, I'm sure. And you don't need a lot because you're just going to top your pasta with the shrimp. But I am going to season it well with salt and the jerk seasoning. We're going to be jerks again. More jerk. I do need to heat this though. And you guys know shrimp comes together pretty quickly.
Yeah, I cooked shrimp one time.
How'd it come out, Curtis?
I didn't kill myself. It was good.
Well, we're all happy to hear that. No, the thing about shrimp is it overcooks so fast. And that is awful. So we're just going to make sure it's good and seasoned. Yeah, good job, man.
Milton is asking how long since you became a chef.
Me, I've been doing it right about 15 seconds. That's me. That's me keeping that. I got it. That's stuck.
You gotta stop messing around before you get yourself tennis elbow. Stop playing at grown people kitchen.
I'm just gonna stick that right in the wall. And I do boil my wooden spoons in clean water. We learned that tip a couple of months ago. Remember?
Not to hurt myself.
Don't hurt. I just need the pan to get hot. You don't want to put it in a not hot pan. So give it a minute.
All right.
All right. Now again, you can end it. You can do just this could be your dish if you don't want to put any protein on it. Or I think also what would be good is if you wanted to saute some tofu with the jerk seasoning and use that instead.
If that's what you want to do.
If you're a vegetarian, yeah, if some people like to go meatless certain days, you can certainly do that or just eat it just like this.
Denise says as soon as the shrimp turns pink, it's done.
Yep, it's done in no time. I'm just waiting for my pan to get a little hotter.
Stacy's saying she hopes I cook better than I wrap gifts. I've never cooked for anybody before, but yeah, probably.
Because you've never cooked for anybody?
No, I cook for me, and that's about it.
I think Curtis owes us a meal.
What's that?
I think Curtis owes us a meal.
I'm not responsible for any trips to the hospital.
Curtis doesn't like to go outside, so if you go to his house and get sick, your ass is going in an ambulance.
I'll get a neighbor to take you.
Yeah.
Add the shrimp to the pan. A little sizzle going on. See, you don't need that many, but these are really nice. They're on sale at Doris. The meatballs are also on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Susan says, I love jerk chicken. Never tried jerk shrimp pasta. It looks so good, Sally.
Yeah, you can make this with chicken, though.
Says, can you sear scallops with the jerk seasoning over rice?
I don't see why you couldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, try it. Why not? I've never thought about jerk shrimp before because, like, when we would go to Sandals and stuff, we would have jerk chicken all the time,
Mm-hmm.
which was really good. Here we go. There's my sizzle coming. Yeah. And again, some people would cook the shrimp right in there with the pasta and everything, but I think it's better if you sear it separately. I know it's an extra pan to clean. I get it.
Extra pan to clean.
Yeah. All right, you weren't ready to turn. All right. And you see how they start to curl, the shrimp?
So if you don't want them to curl, you can put some paper clips to them, right?
Toothpicks, maybe. These are pretty good sized buddies. But again, you can obviously absolutely use frozen shrimp. I use frozen shrimp all the time. when we were at Doris, was it yesterday we were at Doris?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, of course, I look at their ad and I saw that they had shrimp and I thought that's what we're going to top the pasta with. Mm.
So,
Again,
oh, there we go.
there it is. This is Jamaican Jerk Pasta. And you can top it with whatever you want. Tofu, shrimp, chicken. We went with shrimp. And I made this before for Mo. And there's substitutions as far as the peppers go. You use what you like. I love colorful bell peppers, except for green. I'm not a big green bell pepper fan. But the green pepper you see in there is actually a jalapeno. But you don't have to use a jalapeno if you don't want to. And you see the sauce is a good consistency right now. And this is this is not on heat anymore. We just want to keep it warm because the pasta doesn't need to cook anymore, even though we put it in al dente. You don't want it to overcook because then you have sloppy pasta and nobody wants that.
Well, Dr. Bradford says we need to put those shrimp on a fishing hook and throw them in the ocean.
Do you not like shrimp?
But then how would we eat them?
You catch something bigger and eat that, I guess. It's bait.
Can you smell that?
Yep.
Yep.
Milton says you need to put 4 more shrimps up in there. You're being stingy with the shrimps.
See the nice and pink? They're still gray on one side, but they're pink on the other. Won't take much longer. Being stingy with the shrimp.
Bear says it looks better than the salad he just had.
Oh, I'm sure your salad was fine, Bear.
Go ahead and I'll just
You go ahead.
keep this moving.
Yep, there you go. You're doing something.
All right.
He's doing something all right.
See how that consistency is in there? It's all good.
Get your hands out of my dish.
Well, I've had a dime for every time I heard that.
All right. So while the shrimp is finishing up, I'm going to go ahead and plate up the pasta. Yeah. Make sure you get.
Kathy says it looks delicious. You should try to make it, Kathy.
You should try to make it. You don't have to use linguine if you don't want to. That's just what I like linguine. I do recommend this though with a long pasta, not a short pasta. I just think it works a little better. You can gather up a few more. All right.
It smells delicious.
All right, so here's our plate. See how the shrimp are doing?
Sally, do you know if they have jerk seasoning at Doris if we don't have a stalker to give us stuff?
I know they have more than just Italian seasonings at Doris. I did not look, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did, just because they've got Asian seasonings. They've got. What I'm going to do is I'm moving the shrimp to the pasta because we don't want it to cook anymore. And when I make the second plate, I'll use that.
I'm sure they have the seasoning. They have all kinds of seasonings
They have
there.
all kinds of seasonings. I've gotten Asian seasonings there, Mexican. So I wouldn't doubt if they had jerk. So I don't think I'm being skimpy on the shrimp. Look at that.
That's a nice dish.
That's a nice
Look at
looking dish.
That look real good.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to take this off the heat, turn that off. One more step and we're ready to eat. I'm going to take my fancy schmancy scissors that Karen got.
Sally says her hands.
And I'm going to top it with fresh parsley. You certainly don't have to if you don't want to. My herb garden is doing really well.
Curtis, I'm going to bring those two for you tomorrow.
Oh, thank you.
Those
You
are
gonna put an eggplant in between them?
And a little garnish there as well.
This was a gift from Karen. I think I've showed this to you guys before. Just going to chop my herbs right on top there.
Those are sharp as hell.
They're very, very sharp. But look how good they work. You don't have to do this step if you don't have any parsley. Oh, speaking of, Doris has live herbs for your herb garden on sale. Well, I don't even know that it's a sale. I think that's their normal price. $2.99. So you can start a little herb garden for not much money at all. All right, guys, that's it. Jamaican jerk pasta, and I made it with shrimp.
Milton says it looks awesome.
It's easy, you guys. It's so good. Mo really liked it, so let's give it a shot.
That look good.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the shrimp first.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah, it keeps on cooking, so.
do not overcook your shrimp. Here you go, Mo.
Oh, okay.
Watch out for his baby mouth.
Yeah, that's not too long. That's right. I gotta watch out for his baby mouth. And the pasta, we've got the coconut milk, all the peppers, the jerk seasoning. That does look a little hot.
No cute way to eat pasta.
You speak for yourself.
Again, I put undercooked pasta in the sauce because when it's sitting there in that sauce, it cooks some more. And it also absorbs some flavor of that sauce. So the pasta is really flavorful. And even though I have a whole jalapeno pepper in here, a big one, I did seed it and stem it. It's not overly spicy, but again, if you don't like that, I'm trying to cut you a piece now. That's too messy. If you don't like the heat, substitute something else. Another bell pepper. But when you make this dish, make it with the colorful peppers because I think it's pretty. All right, that might be doable for you, Mo.
You gotta get fed.
I'll pinch that side off.
I can't really eat and do
Yes,
this at the
you
same.
can.
No, here we
Here we
go.
Get in your high chair.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
And I used a good 2 tablespoons of the jerk seasoning. So taste your jerk seasoning. If it already has salt in it, then you probably want to dial back on the salt that I used. Also, remember the cheese kind of has, the Parmesan cheese is kind of salty, but mine didn't have any salt. That's why I did salt the shrimp and the peppers. But give this a try, you guys.
Jana says yum. Yep.
What's the verdict, baby mouth?
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. And look at that. I'm out of wine. Oh.
All right, that means it's a good time to end the broadcast before you get too toe up.
This is all I'm going to have for tonight. This is it. That's it right there. That's all.
Today's National Wine Day.
Oh, that's right. Today is National Drink Wine Day. So, yeah, everybody bust open some wine.
All right. So,
Dr. Todd says, nicely done. Thanks for sharing your expertise, Sally.
well, Dr. Todd, thank you for the microphones. And one of these days we are going to get it to work.
I think maybe next week we might have it figured out. We're going to try something else.
Yeah.
So we got close today. I think we got close. So maybe next week. So it's very echoey in here, but
It's our house too.
I think the company's going to build us a kitchen, a
No,
studio
that's not good.
kitchen. No. All right, that's it. Get the recipe at 1055online.com. Get your ingredients at Doris Italian Market and Bakery. When you're there, my gosh, they have great cheese. The bakery is phenomenal. I try to stay out of that bakery
Oh, yeah.
because it's just everything looks so good.
Mo always gets a slice of pizza.
Oh yeah, a
And
couple of
sometimes-
slices. Yeah, I get 2 slices of pizza, and they warm it up for me.
Mhm.
And it's nice, and it's just perfect by the time I get home because my baby mouth can't take it too hot.
And remember, the meatballs are also on sale. Sweet and spicy meatballs, and they're not overly spicy.
Curtis, look at that. You could get balls for the weekend.
Hey, I might do it.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys, for joining us. We
All
really
right.
appreciate it.
Tomorrow on the show, great birthday prank call. We've got more money to give away at 7 and 8 o'clock. We've got 4 random facts and tickets to Busch Gardens. And make sure you join us 7:15 on Facebook Live for the show behind the show. We always have a great time with you guys.
Yeah, we do.
Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.